Hey everybody, welcome to Half Beard Hud's Heads Up. Today, as you saw, we're checking out Laserlife, a rhythm game made by the same people who made the Bit Trip series. It's got a very kind of spooky alien feel. It's about an astronaut who died out in space and has floated off and has been discovered by an alien spaceship. And they are using the power of their crazy alien technology to kind of discover and interpret his memories, if I remember correctly. I played just a little bit, just the first song, and that was a while ago, so I'm gonna be a little crap at it at first. But it's a curious little thing from what I've seen of it so far. It's available on PSN and Steam, and yeah, let's just jump into it. Get into it right away. I think we gotta watch this whole opening thing of this crazy alien space rock thing intercepting our poor captured astronaut, who is long since died. He's bones. Which I don't even know how that happens, because in space, you know, there's no bugs, there's no bacteria or nothing. They wouldn't have time to eat him. They need the oxygen to make him rot. And even if he did, like, where's all his, you know, the residual parts of what happens of rotting? You know, there's soil and stuff. Your body turns into stuff. Matter cannot just be eliminated. It's got to be somewhere. So where is all, like, you know, the flesh goo or whatever rotted off of him? It's weird. Anyways, space science aside, let's play this video game. Again, as I said, we are looking at memories. Each memory is a number of sub-memories. I've done the first one, but we're going to do it again. And the idea here is that you are using both the left stick and the right stick, at least on PS4. I don't know how this works on PC, to kind of manipulate these, let's call them feelers, these weird feeler lines, to collect stuff, while also pressing the trigger buttons to kind of hit the beats. As I said, it is a rhythm game, just a very surreal, bizarre looking one. So I gotta go like that, and then like that. There we go. So you're kind of holding the sticks in place in the right spots, and then pressing the triggers as it kind of comes across on that side. It's a little bizarre, and it requires a deft touch. It's real sensitive, where the light goes. You're getting bonuses for timing and stuff like that. I think you can just hold it. No, you gotta press it over and over again. You can't just hold it. Alright, good to know. But it's a little crazy, a little weird. And as you can see, like, the framing on the side is kind of building out as I keep doing it. So that's cool. The level kind of evolves a little bit as you do well. And the game is kind of, you know, it's not super fast, which is good, because the actual gameplay here is a little finicky and tough. But it's interesting. It's got an interesting sense of music too, where it's going very kind of like synthy kind of stuff, which I think really works for the subject matter. The very high-minded, high-concept subject matter of space death and memories and how aliens would interpret a human's life and experiences. Which is apparently with sick synth and lasers. Which, you know, if I could interpret everything that way, that's how I would. Sick synth and lasers. It's the true meaning of life. And you can definitely kind of feel the Bit Trip influence here, in that it is just bizarre, but there is very much a rhythm behind everything. And I'm doing terribly at this, but this is not an easy game to talk and play at the same time. It seems like for most of these fucking tetrahedrons, or whatever the hell they are, I don't know, shapes, you can kind of hold the sticks out to the far edges to do it, but there's a lot of kind of wiggle room in the sides, where if you don't want to hold the stick out to the full edge, you can do that. I also don't know if I could perhaps, like, run different sides into each other. Like, if I could run the stuff from this one. Oh, cool. So you can use whatever stick you want to do this. You can kind of cross back and forth. Your weird noodles, you can make them go wherever you want. Of course, it makes the most sense to have them go on the sides where they are on the controller, but, you know, a lot of wiggle room here. Like, it's a very simple control method, essentially, even if it feels complicated. Oh, man. And kind of in the weird nebulous space surrounding the screen, the memory itself is building out, and we should be getting to the center soon, where the secret of this particular memory will be unveiled. I think. I don't know. I don't know! I understand as much about what's going on as the aliens who are trying to decipher human life through this. So yeah, I got some of it. I got most of those. So it's now going to start memory harmonization, and now goes to its next stage. So this is where it gets crazy, is that it's got multiple stages and multiple types of gameplay. So that was the first one, and now I'm still moving these around. But you can see there's all these other weird lasers, and now I'm trying to hit these purple symbols with the lasers, trying to kind of get them on par. And the symbols, as you can see, they light up green when you're in the range of them. So the game gives you a lot of good visual indication as to whether you're doing things right or not. It's very, very bizarre, but in a way I can get behind. And this is where the defter control of the sticks comes into play, because it's not just out to the sides. You want to go just a little bit lower on the sticks or a little bit higher, because I think you're getting extra points if you hit them right on the green thing and not just in the symbol as a whole. Not that I know, it's kind of hard to tell. But, you know, it's a thing, it's happening. Oh, fuck that one up. That's alright. And now you can see, as they are deciphering more and more of the memory, parsing through long, evaporated space neurons, more recognizable human shapes are starting to pour into the visual design. Again, that's what makes this game interesting, is that it is very much, it's a very cool concept of just how aliens interpret human thoughts, human experiences, but also the idea of just unraveling the data that exists within the human brain. It's very curious. Got this evil, or maybe not evil, space teddy bear? I don't know. Music's pretty decent. Again, it's all very synthy. Very kind of transcendental. But yeah, it's got its thing. And yeah, this you can see it's trying to avoid these spiky things, which you want to kind of. It's really easy to get desynced here, like kind of lose your thought patterns, lose your control over the two wires. So, like keeping them together is kind of the trick here, and then while at the same time maneuvering them. Oh man, there we go. And we're back to the real world, I think. Back to my brain. Memory materialization. Oh yeah, now I do this. Now I create space wires. And he goes, no, not the space wires. I'm just wiggling the sticks. There's no beat to that. And then that does something. Yo, crazy looking teddy bear. I remember a world of play. Let's see what's next. I don't know what's next. Let's find out what's next. I've not done the next song. That's as much as I've played of this game right there. So let's now try this one with what looks like a steering wheel. So we're gonna see him learning how to drive, I guess. But how aliens would interpret you learning how to drive, which could be pretty nuts. Yeah, start by collecting memory molecules. That's what those are. I like that they have their own names for everything. Good to know. I wouldn't want to use the wrong vernacular for weird space stuff. Oh. So this is the part where it's most like a traditional rhythm game, is when you're kind of just trying to get the beat in place and getting all this stuff. It kind of reminds me of, what were those games called? The ones Harmonix made before they made Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Fuck, how can I remember the name of them? They were on the PS2. They were kind of crazy music games though, and they were not dissimilar to this, I guess. Oh man, but I cannot remember the names of them right now for some reason. Probably because I'm trying to do this, and it's kind of hard to focus on both things at once. Though that was generally like one track, and you were kind of constantly switching tracks to switch to different instruments. This is more just like, oh god, the memory noodles. I need to get the memory noodles into the right spot. I'm very confused. There we go. I feel like I'm dissecting the rhythm more here than I am in other places, than I am in other games. It's not just following along with the rhythm. I am collecting bits and pieces of the rhythm and using it for stuff. Oh man, I've completely lost track of where the things are. There we go. As I said, because of the control style here, because of the memory noodles, as I'm gonna call them, it's real easy to lose sync, to figure out where things are, just like lose track of stuff. Because it's all kind of over the place, and especially as it like has you start moving things around in ways that you're putting both on the same side, and then like it's just mentally disconcerting. I've never really played anything quite like this game. As I say, it reminds me of those music games I was talking about that I can't fucking remember the name of, and it's really bugging me because I played a bunch of them when I was a kid. Well, not that young, but still. But it's not that similar to those. It just reminds me of those. The style of these notes is kind of what's reminding me of that. But the general gameplay it's completely unique. Just also bizarre and very kind of confusing and strange. What the hell is that thing? I'm seeing what are these white things? I don't think I collected as many I don't think I'm going to be collecting as many memory modules this time. Memory molecules, that's what it is. I keep forgetting. Space vernacular. There you go. Now I got a beat going. Probably right near the end of the song, though. Or at least this section of the song. Before I do the next part. Oh, man. Yeah, it's a fucking trip, this game. It's a fucking trip. I'm not even really sure what I'm supposed to be looking at right now. Like, what part of the technology this is supposed to be. Oh, this is the end, because we're at the memory thing in the core. Or something, I don't... Yeah. I don't know. This isn't really a horror game, by the way. I know it's our month of horror, and I've been trying to keep a bunch of those going, but this kind of fits. It's got a similar vibe. Very dark and kind of creepy. All right, now for the section that I like, the part with the weird symbols. Unless they're gonna give us an entirely different kind of minigame. Nope, symbols. All right, I'm happy with this. I like this part. And now we can see aliens looking at Earth's ocean, be like, man, look at all those fucked up things under the water. Their planet sure looks stupid. Yeah. It's more like a visualizer than a rhythm game in a lot of ways. In that the what you're doing doesn't necessarily correspond to the music. Like, you're not making the music so much as you are kind of... The level itself is the music, and you're kind of playing to it. Not so much you making the music or you kind of playing against the music, I guess. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to describe here. That's going to be a running theme with this game, I think. Oh, I'm fucking up all these space symbols. There we go. There we go. Now I'm doing a little better. When you are getting it right, though, feels good. A little bit of feedback as you kind of hit these things. Works. Huh. All right. What else do I have to say about this game? Not really much. As I said, available on Steam and PSN right now. I'm not sure the cost. I think it's about $15. I'm not sure on that, though. Might be a little less, might be a little more. That said, seems like there's a decent amount of content. Each one of these little memory things has at least 3 songs in it, so I think you're looking at like 9 or so songs, 9 or so of these experiences. And they're most certainly very replayable as you're going for better scores and whatnot. And, you know, the music's decent enough that you might want to listen to it over and over again if you're into this kind of more trancey, ambient sort of stuff. So that's a thing. I mean, this is the sort of thing where I think you got to be in the right mood for it. I think you kind of know if you're in the audience for this game, but I think if you are, you're probably right on board with it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's just space triangles. Not the triangles, the most evil of shapes. Damn it. And then this will take us back to that other part where we see what's in the memory. Last time was a teddy bear. This time, I guess it'll be a boat? Maybe? Oh no, I got it right. I got to do my space spaghetti. Space spaghetti. And I get a bunch of points for space spaghettiing. For some reason. I infuse them with the space spaghetti. And then wham. Look. The majesty of a boat. A nice boat, actually. That is a pleasure craft. I remember being on the open sea. Guy remembers being on the open sea. Good for him. And then this would keep going, I imagine. I don't know how much more I want to show, considering there's only 2 more memory blocks there. I don't know how much is really in this game. It is interesting though. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check the price real quick. I bet I can find it without too much trouble here. Just so I can give a proper ending thought on it. I do like the look of it. I like the feel of it quite a bit, though. It's got a real good, I guess, like, unknowable space vibe, and having that in itself meet, like, decoding and deciphering memory is bizarre, but then adding onto that, like, what happens when the unknown tries to understand the known? Does that just make the known unknown? It's very, it's interesting. Again, very trippy. Very much... It's the sort of game you smoke a whole bunch of weed, then you sit down and play. Not really my scene, but hey, doesn't mean it's not an enjoyable thing to do. Regardless, available now. It's on Steam, it's on PSN. I just finished looking at the price. It's $16.99 in the Canadian store, so I'm gonna guess $15, $16 US. I like the look a lot. I like the soundtrack. I like the general feel, and I do think the gameplay's really cool. It's different. It does things in a completely unique way. Though my only worry would maybe be content. As you saw, there's the 3 main memory blocks, each with it looks like about 3 songs in them as a guess. So is that the case? 9 songs, not exactly a lot. So that could be an issue. But aside from that, it seems interesting. Worth looking into if you like really creative and different rhythm games, especially if you're into something with a bit more of a kind of a 90s prog rock sort of concept. Very high-minded in that sense, which I'm always a fan of. And yeah, that's gonna be that. As always, I've been your host, Halfbeard, and once again, this has been Laserlife. And we're out of here. Later, guys.